Gonna have to edit that face out later.
Well, I don't know. I think it's a great starting point because we have started there, much like Wolves, successfully with another win. Fantastic. Can't go wrong with that.
3 points, job done.
Absolutely, keeping pace with the top. All good. I've got to remember to look at the right camera. I don't want to look there because then that looks like I'm not speaking to you. Whereas if I look here, I'm speaking to you directly. Anyway, yes. So yes, win, and that is good. I've even made notes. I'm trying to be professional and everything. Look at that, notes.
Mm-hmm.
One saying, "Go!" And so
Very impressed.
As well, yeah. So yeah, I feel very professional. So that's good. Right. So, Alex, your hot take.
Oh man, starting off with a hot take.
Straight in with a hot take.
Well, don't shoot me for this, but I think that first of all, I'm the worst person in the world with names. Neto.
Yeah.
That's how we're pronouncing it, right? Because I'm bad at it. Neto.
I hope so, because that's how I am.
Neto starts over Jota for me the rest of the way.
Yes, I can see why.
I just feel like he honestly, he looks on the ball as comfortable as Jota does when he's in just in control. I said Saturday, he seemed a little frustrated to me. Neto came on, did his thing today, snatched at that 94th minute chance that would have been 3 goals in 3 games. And he's just, to me, he's looked much stronger, much more competent.
He has so much potential. It's unreal. I think what Jota does though is he wears the opposition down. He's just if he was playing for another team, I would hate him. Absolutely hate him.
I could see that.
But he's not. So he's on our side, so I like him. But it's a hard really. I know what you're saying, but it's a hard decision to which one to play with, because it is nice that you can bring Neto on when teams are a little more tired, and he's got a lot more. I'd say he's got more close control and skill than say Jota. Oh, we've got someone.
We have a caller already.
Yes, we have. I'm going to let Matt in because we tried to let him in last time and it didn't quite work. So Matt might be joining. Let's see how that goes.
Nat Tim, the famous
Matt. He's got in this time. But hey, he might be on mute. Are you on mute? I think you're on mute, Matt.
Everybody comes in on mute. That's the beauty of.
That's a good point. Yeah. So if you are coming on here, you will be muted at the start. So you just got to unmute yourself. We can see Matt, but we can't hear him. Oh, hello. There we are. Fantastic.
Nice. There we go. Internet's working this time.
Excellent. We got you. We finally got you in.
Yep.
Excellent.
Oh, that's a bit of a sort of economy of effort, I think, in that match. Sort of did all we needed to do, and
so we're just on our hot takes from the game. Do you have a hot take?
Do I have a hot take? Well,
it's not a euphemism.
It probably is.
Could be. Check.
Anything from the game? Tim, we being me just said that Neto is the new starting left wing. Left wing, I guess we'll say it is over Jota for the rest of the way out. That's how I feel after these 2 games back. So do you have any thoughts on that? Am I crazy? Am I crazy?
It all depends how we play. It always seems to be that when we go 3-5-2, it seems to suit Jota a little better, playing a bit more centrally. And when he's out wide, I think he does a lot for the team, but you perhaps don't see as much of him creatively in terms of creating chances and stuff. So maybe Neto might fit that system a bit better.
Even if it's just a spot start, I still think he's starting the next game. And Jota will. I think that'll maybe bring him. Not that he's not trying, but a little more fire is always good to.
Well, I think with the games being played in sort of conditions like they are today, and the games coming into England last, I think we're going to see from a lot of teams. I think there's going to be a lot more rotation of players, perhaps, than you normally see.
It looked uncomfortable out there, so And we had
I was going to say we're not used to it in this country, but we have an international array of stars who probably are more used to it. But as fans, we're not used to this sort of heat. I mean, you are over there in Texas, but we're not over here because it's hot.
What I'm bad at the conversion, but it's summertime, so it's 100 plus every day. We deal with it as best we can. It's not 50.
Yeah, I always remember coming out of a restaurant in Texas at about 11 o'clock in the evening, sort of thing. You're in the air-conditioned restaurant, and you walk out, and there's it's still 11 o'clock at night. There's still like a wall of heat hits you when you come outside.
Yeah, the trick is shade. I mean, there's nothing you can do at 11 o'clock. It's always hot. It's hotter at 11 o'clock at night than it will be in England anytime this summer.
Oh,
but
yeah.
It is, they just looked tired out there. Everybody looked tired, and that's not a knock on anybody. We had our best player out there in the sun strip for the first 45 minutes, wearing himself out. But he came good there. I mean, I think he played a great game actually, but it's always great to get that.
Another Traore Jimenez combo.
Yeah,
carbon
copy of West Ham, anyway.
Absolutely. I mean, they said on the commentary that's the 10th goal that them two have linked up for this season. So that's, I think, unless I got that comment wrong, but that's
something like that. Yeah, it's quite a lot anyway.
I'm not a statistician.
Yeah.
Not even saying.
No, at this point, you can't leave Traore on the wing out there. Like if you're the opposition, you just have to American football tackle him. You put your shoulder in the stomach, drive him to the ground.
On that, I do think that was it Brook should have been sent off. When on that mad run that Traore went on from defence.
That was beautiful.
He tried to hook his leg and got an advantage played, and then finished the job a bit further down the road by just hooking his leg and actually succeeding the last time.
I mean, that's just
me, that's two yellow cards. Really?
Yeah.
Had he not done the second one, he probably would have got a yellow for the first.
I'm saying that we haven't quite seen quite as many sort of blatant, just taking Traore out without even attempting to get the ball like we saw earlier in the season. I think a few times.
No. I think they started to try it, but then I'm not a fan of Bournemouth. I don't like their gamesmanship and falling on the floor and.
Yeah, well, it's all Bournemouth. It's all Bournemouth fans down here where I am. So.
But I've talked to you a lot. What other club would you be a fan of in England? It seems like you hate most of them. So.
Well, they're not Wolves, are they? So it's hard really to be a fan of anybody else.
I'm over here
I don't think I hate all other teams. I'm indifferent to a lot, and then I hate
Liverpool.
Oh yeah, no, that's Liverpool is mainly because of their fans, unfortunately.
I mean, a bit of a soft spot for Leicester because I went to college there. I used to go and watch them a few times when I was there, so I guess that's a bit
sacrilege.
That's sort of going back to when Lineker was playing for them.
That's fair. We can allow that, I think. Where do you think Leicester are going to end up? What are they, third right now? Just drew. Yes. Did they draw yesterday?
Yeah. I guess there's probably going to. I think they're probably going to have enough to stay in third. I'd have thought, but you never know.
Well, here, I know I need to have your hot take, but I also think that I don't think Leicester finished third, but I actually think United aren't going to lose or draw the rest of the way. Just looking at
that's a beautiful segue onto my hot take. That's beautiful because I think we will be finishing there because I don't think we will lose. I actually think we will win every remaining game. That is my hot take.
Wow.
So
my hot take.
I like your hot take a lot. It suits me. I'd be happy with a fourth place finish as well. So you think we're gonna nip them on goal differential as we both clubs go undefeated the rest of the way, or do you think they'll draw up a game? Say the only one they possibly drop is Leicester at the last game of the season. Everybody else they play is the bottom fifth or the bottom five right now.
Yeah, I think it could be a draw. That could be a draw. Oh, I've got someone else waiting. Let's get another opinion on this.
Palace. I forgot about Palace.
We've got Aru. Let's bring in Aru.
You're on mute, probably.
Yes, Aru will be on mute, and camera is off. Oh, no, camera's on. Oh, hello. There we are. It's looking very sunny where you are. Just waiting for the audio coming in. The excitement. The excitement. Anyway, while we're waiting for the audio to connect, yes, I think we will take that spot. Genuinely, that's my hot take.
I have to disagree with you. I think United are going to do it. It's going to mess everybody's minds up. So I'm sorry to say it. I know I don't know if they're the most hated team in England right now, or if they always are, but that's what I think. Aru, is that it? You seem to be enjoying your after-match ritual there. How did that feel today?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And halftime ritual. Great. The match is wonderful. So I took the tape off my camera, and there's still glue on there, but you don't want to see how ugly I am.
It's a lovely
and
soft
my internet
focus.
is dodgy. I just got to.
It's a classic look.
Keeps the blemishes off. Good to see y'all. Yeah.
Good to see you too. That was
and I'm wearing a retro shirt here. Yeah.
That's a classic. So, your opinion on today's game?
Me? Oh, you're looking down at me. Okay, yes.
Oh yeah, don't worry. I've got I've got two screens. You see, the camera's here, the screen's over there. And
I have exactly the same problem.
so I am looking at people, but it's not always.
I should move the video back over that screen. I could look straight at the camera there.
Yeah, I managed to stay worried throughout the first half and a good chunk of the second, but we really started to come into it, and it really was only going to go one way after the restart. But yeah, I wish Pedro had scored that at the end.
Yeah.
Oh, right at the end.
No, that would have been good.
But the keeper did come out. It was a tough angle. He was sort of forced wide, but if he dinked it over or something or whatever, maybe he had a pass on. I don't know.
I thought he was going to go to the left and go around the keeper myself. I think he could have, but after that run, I would have fallen down and been out of breath. And just getting off any shot would have been dynamite. But yeah, that's and that first goal though. I think at halftime it was right around 60% possession for Wolves. Like most of the half it was 50-50, and then but that second half coming into the game, I think we're at 80% possession when that goal was scored. Like it was whatever Nuno said, or
I think the com said about 70. It was certainly in the 70s or so, 70% or something. But yeah,
it was ours. It was ours there. I have no complaints anywhere on the pitch. Like 2 games in a row.
It's always one of those things though, when you're 1-0 up, however comfortable you look in possession and however little Bournemouth offered going forward, there's always, you could never quite get rid of that nagging doubt they might just fluke a goal out of nothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Fortunately, they didn't have a shot on target, if I'm not mistaken, and they only had like four shots in total. So they had 4 shots, and I think Neves had 3 shots himself that he sent into the stands. So they outshot Neves by 1. had the same results. So
I
he would be.
Just leave you a second, having a technical issue. So I'll leave you to talk.
I hate it when he goes away because then it's just me and all the pressure's on. So Matt.
Yeah.
Who was a man of the match today for you?
I don't know. I guess probably have to go for Traore again. Maybe certainly on the second half. Anyway, first half is a bit more difficult to pick anybody out in particular. I think.
I thought I just didn't. Honestly, after the first half, I didn't know that we'd score a goal. It just didn't seem like the end product was going to be there. It was a little bit the same.
That's sort of typical Nuno approach to games, really, isn't it? Sort of,
The whole second half team thing, though, that it's worked for us so far, but it would be nice to get a few early goals.
Yeah, sometimes you can't help feeling that if we went at teams a bit more in the first half, we could have a comfortable lead by half time.
And is it Arrow or what name are we going with there? I can't pronounce anything. Or is it
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't even recognize what you said. Well, when I signed up, everybody wolf, that wolf on its location or whatever. And I thought, if I'm a wolf, do I answer in response to your name? That's what it is. It's a wolf.
Okay, yeah. So that's how we would address you from now on.
I don't know that I have the pipes. I'll give it a shot, though.
Just plain Aru is fine.
Aru, man of the match.
That I heard you ask Matt that, and it's like, what the heck? That's an on-point question, and I'm just going to say Nuno. But after that, because of how he managed things, because of we did just enough. Maybe it would have been better to bring Terry on the second half as before, but he managed to do his trick, in the second half too. So I was worried he might in the heat fall over or something. And in this heat, it's like 30 degrees, it's 86 in Fahrenheit, and we're 86 here all the time. We go into the 90s, but you wouldn't want to play football in it. So I don't really know how hot. Does it never get that hot over there? I guess not in the season.
It's very rare.
I guess just a summer thing.
Where are you located at, by the way?
Nashville, Tennessee, the buckle of the Bible Belt. Where are you?
I am in Austin, Texas, and it is it is a little bit warmer here most of the time than everywhere else. I was just kind of curious. If you want to go ahead and give out your social and your street address to everybody, you can feel free. But I would.
Not yet.
I like my solitude in general. I'm not much of a joiner, and I can't. I'm not very social. I'm only good for 20, 30 minutes at a time. But I wanted to, show my face, show my support. And add a number to your thingy here. You ought to have 40 on here. I don't know. This ought to really catch on. I don't know how many you can handle on a meeting like this.
Oh, God, quite a few. Well, what we'll probably do anyway is to only have so many in anyway, because if you have too many in on here at once, it'll just become chaos, I think. So we'll just bring people in, drop people out.
It'll be like a verdict thread.
Yeah, I think whenever I do other meetings like this, you get more than about 6 people on at a time, and it's just you can't do it because you really have one person talking at a time. So it's like.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't have we do what Bod said and don't have a loss the rest of the way, so that we don't have just an angry hour on here where everybody calls in to yell. So.
Yeah, that will be the test. Is when we get the angry people.
No plan B. All those excuses. They're always my favorite.
It'll be when we have that match where we get the last second equaliser or winner, and you get all the angry people on here who left 10 minutes before the end and haven't realised that we actually equalised.
Can I be the angry man?
Oh, hello. That voice there is actually the Invisible Man. As you can see, he's invisible, but he does sometimes speak.
You can see.
I've just found my headphones. That's why.
There we go.
Shrouded in mystery, Invisible Man. What are you thinking?
Don't ask me. I have no opinion.
No opinion.
I've been invisible.
I'll just lurk in the background.
Lurking's good. Does anybody have another man of the match? I almost thought I'd give it to the back three. I know the song says 5 at the back, but holding them to just I know what did they line up 4-5-1, so the attacking wasn't really.
Yeah,
I know what you mean, but I was kind of very nervous with the back today because they seemed to be a bit sketchy.
As the other one I was a bit nervous about, probably from before the match, was possibly say it's just Bournemouth are always looking to go down too easy. I could see him getting 2 yellows or something. But fortunately, it was only the one.
Yeah,
he was. True. I mean, I was pretty comfortable with them. I was distracted during the game though most of the time, but only 4 shots. You got to feel like they did something right. And then Bali almost had another striker's goal if he could have settled down.
Well, I was going to say, as much as I wasn't going to, as I was just saying about the back looking a bit ropey. I was when you were saying like who's your man of the match, I was actually going to say Bolly. So that kind of contradicts what I was just saying completely. But I did feel that he in the way that he supplemented the midfield quite a lot and was quite useful in that sense, and he was getting around.
Yeah,
covering quite a few big areas.
Second half, he was pushing up a fair bit. It was a bit more.
Yeah. Bringing the ball out nicely.
I'll tell you what, though, outside of Doc's assist last week, I haven't, and this could just be me not paying attention, I haven't noticed much on the outsides. That I could, I have no complaints, but I have no, usually, that's going to be a major part of our game, but we've been kind of going straight up the middle since we came back. So
yeah, there hasn't been a lot of overlap.
How is Johnny's health, by the way? Because I honestly forget to look that up. I assume he's good. He's had 2 in a row.
Yeah, I think so. He gets around a lot. He covers so much pitch, though. Mm-hmm. I'd love to see if I mean I could be wrong. I mean, but when you get the stats, I haven't seen any stats, but he must be the player who covers the most ground. I mean, I know. I mean, wing back position is one that covers a lot of ground anyway, but it just seems to always be either supporting this. It seems to always be in the right sort of place.
Yeah, I don't know. I remember I see the stats before that. Docky is usually one of the higher numbers on that when you look at it. So I imagine Johnny probably must be similar. I'd have thought. Yeah.
Yeah. Whereas Doherty does tend to score more. Well, a lot more. But Johnny does say, he gets around the pitch a lot. Anyone there? Sorry, I'm just checking the other screens. No, we're all right. Okay.
Mix is still up.
It's just about. It's just about.
Hasn't gone to meltdown. So I don't know. Anybody want to comment on transfer rumors that are gonna run wild until the end of the season? I'm guessing.
Well, I think it's just something we're going to have to get used to seeing these days, isn't it, with the number of players we got that, other clubs are going to be looking at them. But
I think since the last time we did this, Nuno came out, was it yesterday or the day before? It's like I couldn't say if Troy was going to stay or go. So that was a little shocking the first time I've heard something like that out of anybody. But I don't think Jimenez goes anywhere. And if he does, hot take number 3, Neto's going to be fine. Slot him right in there.
Is he really that sort of central striker though?
I don't think so.
Or is Jota going to go and sit in that position?
Neither. I think we'd have to go get somebody else. Bonatini will be back. So there you go.
Point. Yeah, there you are.
Tit for tat right there.
I'd be interested because a lot of our goals are coming from the cross, headed in. If Jimenez was sold, injured, or anything like that, who's going in that position to do that and fulfil that sort of goal?
Because the young lad we got.
Well, no, we don't really. I mean, Jota's not really what you'd call someone. You wouldn't. I mean, he can hit the ball, obviously, but it's not what you go.
We haven't got anybody that really you'd look is an out-and-out striker in the all the type mold target man type sort of role. But
I mean, okay, we don't play with target men as such, but I know what you mean. It's like someone who Jimenez has got an aerial presence, obviously, as we've seen in the last couple of games.
Then I don't think we'd want anybody who was their main part of the game because of the way the way we play the rest of it. But yeah,
not at all. But that young lad we bought, is it Campana? I think he's not much taller than Podence, which might not be particularly good for the aerial challenges.
I mean, I imagine we'll just swap Ronaldo out straight up since Juve's so keen for him.
Possibly.
Would you?
Well, Neto is the new Ronaldo, isn't he? Really? So
that's a good point. Not who's that other guy? The actual new Ronaldo that went to. Did he go to Barca? I can't remember.
Which one?
I don't know. He's a super famous.
Well, rubbish at anything outside of. I'm rubbish at remembering half the things at Wolves, let alone outside of it. So
I'll do a quick Google here then. Anybody gonna pay 100 million for a 29-year-old striker with 14 goals on the season?
Yes,
that's what we're asking for, right?
I think someone would possibly put the bid in, or more like 70 in a player. That wouldn't surprise me, but I'm not convinced he did. As another player, I'm not convinced he'd actually go.
Yeah, I don't know with this transfer window. It's a bit difficult to know, sort of, because with the way finances are, with no crowds coming in and all the rest of it, is quite how clubs are going to view their spending this transfer window. Whether they're going to go out and spend big, or whether they're going to be looking at the budgets a bit more.
Yeah, I think it'll definitely play into our hands, especially in Spain, where they're already not having crowds through the year. I'm sure that'll be everywhere, but through at least December. Speaking of no crowds, what did you guys think of the new look Molyneux?
Awesome.
I liked it. It was nice.
Has there been another team that's done it better so far that you've seen?
No.
It's always difficult to say.
Of course not.
having had the benefit of seeing all the aerial shots and that from the video before, how it looks, but when you actually get the footage during the match, you only see like the bottom bit of the stands.
Yeah, that's very true.
You don't really get quite a direct comparison as to what other clubs might have done, because you probably haven't seen those in quite the same way.
It is. There has to be a stat. That has to be the highest camera in the Premier League, though. It is sky high. So you're just looking at that like straight down angle almost. I don't know. I think the sentiment of it, I think, is going to be better than most other clubs that I've seen, because there are thousands and thousands of pictures of fans.
I think the ideas were great with the mosaics and then all the flags in the bottom of the Billy Wright, and that was something I haven't seen at other grounds. Is a bit different, but the only thing I could think, having looked at the cameras during the match, is something they might look at as doing differently. When you see like other grounds where they have like the advertising painted on the pitch, where they have it at the angle to offset the camera, so it looks more upright when the camera, that you could possibly do, because with the seats going backwards like that, you don't get a straight on shot at the sort of thing when they look at it. So I don't know if they did anything else. You could look at sort of printing it off so that it looks more sort of, you get that view of it from where the camera's coming across from the other side.
Not a bad idea. Mind you, I think they've put quite a lot of work into getting all that sorted. So might be a bit harsh. Oh, hello. We've got another guest. We have Joshua Libras. I don't know if that is spelled. If I've spelled it correctly, pronounced that correctly. But Joshua, you're on mute. How to gain 1 million? Oh, I think this is a spam. How to gain 1 million views in just 3 days. Well, everybody, if you want to gain 1 million views in 3 days, obviously have a chat to Joshua Libras.
Yeah, we're a bit more exclusive than that, aren't we?
Yeah.
Let's bin him.
Molyneux makes get per month.
All right, then. We'll bin that one. Let's see how many more we're going to get. Let's see what this is.
As long as they're safe for work, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, I don't know what's coming. What's coming this time? Are we going to get? I can't pronounce your name. Shake. Not Shake. Of course it is. Shake. Are you a real person? No. Oh God, we're getting loads of them. I think we've just been hit by a bot.
Where'd they get the password?
It's the first time for everything, man.
I put it on the forum, so it's probably my own fault for seeing if anyone wants to.
That may be my fault, Dave.
Oh, hello.
I've just posted on Twitter.
Oh no, not Twitter. What's this one?
Oh, we're getting spammed. Right, I think I might delete that.
Yes, might be an idea. Well,
right.
we learn. Right. Let's try again. George. It's George now. To those who are watching, I'm sorry about this. We've got lots of spam coming in now. So if anyone is trying to join us legitimately, I can't tell. Oh, if you actually, a good way for me to tell is use your username off Molyneux Mix, and I'll probably recognise it because it will probably be prefixed with Wolf. Whereas all of these people are just random names. So that's a mistake that we've learnt. Well, you live and learn. Anyway, back to the football while I delete people off here.
While you delete all your bots. I think it's oh man, I think it's
doesn't take long, does it?
Anyway,
I'm just going to go to my notebook and have a look through as a little Bournemouth. Let's talk about Bournemouth for a minute. What a horrible team. What a horrible, niggly, nasty team.
They are championship bound. Who do they play? Everybody in the top
fouls,
6 the next 2 weeks.
All over. Horrible little niggly fouls. Conning the referee. Oh, hate them. I won't be sad to see them go down.
It's all down to Eddie Howe.
Yes.
They never used to be like that before. Having lived down in Poole for like the best part of the last sort of since the mid-80s, sort of thing, I sort of used to go and watch them occasionally when they were back down in the second, third division. But yeah,
they are a very cynical team. There's no joy there for me. Quite happily see them go.
I mean, you have to think they're going down.
Well, you think so? I think West Ham are going to. They're still better than West Ham were. Oh my, they were turgid.
So I don't think this team. I don't think they beat Newcastle. I don't think they beat United. They'll lose to Spurs. They'll lose to Leicester. They'll lose to Man City. They've got maybe 6 points they can get the rest of the way.
Yeah, they're gone.
Especially if they do a 4-5-1. Like if I were them, I just go with a 1-1-8.
That's my kind of tactic. All out attack. Love the attack.
It might work in Football Manager. You never know. I've seen crazier things on there.
Has the spam stopped?
Yes, the spam has stopped now.
Good.
Good.
Don't post on Twitter ever.
Yes. No.
That took about 10 seconds.
Horrible.
Honey, if you can hear me, I am hungry.
Yes, I think Ali, if you are listening, could you possibly get me a beer from the fridge, please? Oh, the abuse we're going to get from the ladies now.
Yeah, we're finished. That was fun though. It was fun to be married while it lasted.
Well, yeah. Abusing power from the power.
The important stuff though. Obviously Norwich are gone. They don't stand a chance. So Norwich, Bournemouth, my wife says 3 middle fingers, and we're good to go.
Oh.
I don't know, anybody else? What's everybody else thinking?
Oh, I've just been given that look from my wife, who has kindly brought me a beer and is now hitting me on the head with it.
A special relationship.
Cheers. I'm a very lucky man. Thank you.
Cheers, Bod. Someday you'll come to America. We can get that in cans.
Yes. Tasty. Right then. I'm going. Oh, hello. Kashmir's back. Let's get Kashmir in again.
Kashmir's had a busy day today, if I'm recalling.
He has had a very, very busy day. Here he is. I think he'll be on mute now.
Looks good. Kashmir, are you there?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, there you are.
Busy
day today for you?
Yeah, busy one. Watching a game with Wells on the call with a few regional bigwigs politically, young youth-wise, but I was able to see able to watch along, and it we got the whole deserved the win. Much better in the second half. Had Bournemouth never looked like a threat, a real threat. Obviously, they came forward towards the end, which is not surprising in such a situation, but we contained them well. And quite a tough one actually to dig out, but it's those kind of results which make a season. And seeing too as well that our record against the bottom six this season has so far played at them and won 8 is considerably better than last year. So we can see why we are certainly in contention. And it's another good step forward. 7 unbeaten in the league.
Yeah, certainly the area where we underperformed last season.
But yes, Huddersfield away, for example, which I spent 30 quid on.
No, Huddersfield at home wasn't any better.
Yes, but I'm not surprised they're struggling. I must admit, this season. Where were we before I came in?
We were Aru was getting a drink, Bob was getting a drink, and I was getting ready to go back to work.
Fair
It's
enough.
the middle of the day here in America,
Yes,
but cheers, Aru.
So we've had a couple of hot takes. I think we're going to finish 4th and win every game.
Third, he said third.
Third?
Mhm.
Did I say third?
I reckon.
Third?
Yeah.
Sorry, I said
On the
third. It's on the record. I can't deny it.
Fair enough. I think third is definitely now a possibility of.
There you go.
And I think the probability of not just 4th, 5th place or 4th place being secured is definitely rising. But I certainly think with how Leicester are doing, and the way that they've just faltered. They've faltered in these opening few games. Certainly means it's getting quite exciting. I think we're only 6 points behind them now. I think looking if my maths is correct, looking at the tables correct. So there's definitely, I think if there's one team which might fall out of the Champions League altogether, it could be Leicester, and we might be able to capitalise. And I certainly think on paper, if we're able to say grind out these wins, the next 2 being just as important against Villa on Saturday, where the form book in a sense can go out the window, and then Arsenal. And then Arsenal at home on the 4th. I certainly think we are definitely within a shot. It's obviously Manchester United winning tonight obviously is a bit of an annoyance, but it now means though, I suppose, with us winning and them winning, we've now got a nice gap, 4 points to Spurs in 7th. So it's looking good for definitely for Europe. It's just a case of which competition.
Yeah, that's very good. Yep. Very good point. So the other hot take that Alex had was that he feels that Neto is now the starter ahead of Jota.
I can
That's
see
what
why.
I thought.
He's intrigued.
I can see why. He should have scored at the end. Clearly, that was quite annoying. I know people on Twitter stating nightmares of Espanyol had cut back in, but he's only 21. He's obviously got much more room to improve. No doubt Nuno will allow him to do that. But he looked just a composure about him, and the way in which he plays the game is I think sums up our squad. Young players with vibrantness and of whom are able to make good use of the ball. And I definitely wouldn't be surprised if Diogo has to maybe do what he, I think, did and come off the bench, or maybe get shifted into the middle, perhaps. Seeing that out on the wing, it definitely isn't working as much as it may have done in the past. And I noticed, well, whenever he's played, I think at central attacking midfield, he's been much more effective, and that's where his goals have come from.
I think what the problem now is that when you've got Traore on the other wing, is that a lot of the play goes through Traore now, which means Jota's not getting as much when it's playing out on the other side. It's sort of the play's going the other side a lot more.
Every ball in the first half, they were trying to get it to Traore and let him get us down there. That's kind of how I felt the game was at that point, which he obliged several times. Whatever that run, about 30 minutes that he went on, like I have to go back and rewatch that because that was just madness.
It was fantastic.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's definitely. I think you've got a point. I think Pedro's pace. I think Pedro is. Pedro looks quicker than Diogo, and therefore maybe if he's able to, be as effective as Traore down the wings and that things are spread it out, I certainly think it could mean more chances. But obviously, when you got a man like Traore who's able to use his pace and use his crossing ability, as again shown tonight, then it's completely understandable why such comments creep up. But no one will complain with such a marvellous cross of a ball as that's 2-0 Liverpool.
I think maybe when you're looking at that and when we're playing with Traore like that, then maybe Jota needs to come play more centrally when the ball's out in play on the other side, rather than staying out on the wings at the other side so much. Maybe we need to sort of shift the play across a bit and bring him in a bit more central.
I would agree on that because especially because you have Johnny or whoever's on that side overlapping anyway, so the width is still going to be there. So maybe, and we haven't even mentioned Matinho being just boss today. All of his set pieces, I felt like delivered on the money. I think he was really frustrated he didn't get a goal on that last one that he put right into the box.
We didn't see today was we didn't see any of the short corners or the other sort of free kicks where he didn't put the ball in, but we tried play the clever free kicks where he tried to play something and do something different. He hasn't been doing quite so much of those the last couple of games, but the delivery that he did have was pretty much on the money.
Yeah, we've been moving the ball around a lot more, I think, like actually shifting the ball around more and I would say we've looked a lot more patient, where sometimes in the past we've maybe kind of got to the sort of attacking last quarter and then there might not be the person there to actually pass it to, but just crossed it in anyway because don't know what instead. But now we're taking a look and then we're knocking it back again. If there's not the opportunity there, there seems to be more of that going on. Yeah, I'm just going to add somebody else in here. Sorry, we've got Jez. Yeah. So just add him in as well. So sorry, Matt, carry on.
As I say, I think that's one of the most annoying things you see, not just with us, but with other teams as well, where you see the players running forward like into what's obviously a dead end, and rather than stopping and playing the ball back and doing something else, they just sort of carry on blindly and just then lose the ball. You think after you spent 10 minutes passing it around patiently, and then sort of just give it away at the end.
Hi, Jez.
Good evening. How you doing? You okay?
Not too bad.
Good.
To speak to you.
No.
So I don't know how much you've seen so far and what we've been talking about.
Just joined within the last sort of 10-15 minutes, so it's been a good experience. It's been very, very good. So a pleasing result, pleasing performance, but a little bit jaded with the break, a little bit jaded with the warm weather. But I think we've done really well. To be fair, I think we've done well in terms of the performance, and obviously really, really well in terms of the points we've got from the game. So really pleased, really, really pleased.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
It's hard to argue with six of six right off the restart.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think obviously coming in after a 3-month break has been really, really difficult for the boys. And I think they've just shown that absolute composure in all areas of the pitch in terms of the setup and the style of play.
Mm-hmm.
As recently as the West Ham game, I kind of just said that I can actually see us, and yes, I'm a Wolves fan, this is through rose-tinted glasses, I can actually see us going for the rest of the season unbeaten, because the guys just know how to play. They know where they've got to be. They know the system. They just know it inside out. And teams that are getting back to their style, back to their shape, back to their previous performances will struggle to get to that level. And I think hopefully Wolves will.
I think certainly the teams that like us have got that organisation and that discipline. I think from what we've seen in all the matches from the restart so far, those are the teams that have been performing and got the results. And I think for sort of current setup where you haven't got the crowd getting behind the teams and giving them the lift, I think it's the teams that have got that sort of organisation and discipline in there that are gonna see them through, and then after these matches where they're quite close.
Absolutely, totally agree.
And I entirely agree. I think that another clean sheet, I think, is a demonstration of how well the system is just shaped up and set up. The temperature, no doubt, probably maybe got a little bit to the players in the first half. No, and I think at kickoff it was 30 Celsius, which is bonkers for a football game. But again, when the lads got into it, from what I was watching, they just were able to just stay as composed and as calm as they can, playing the game knowing that they would at some point get the breakthrough. That happened in, as I say, another very, very good way, with such an excellent cross from Adama, and then a clinical, just typical Raul Jimenez header. And the build up to that was typical Wolves. We just knew where Bournemouth were going to be exploited, got them to it, and even if they were extremely dirty tonight, the opposition side, I think they probably knew that we were going to eventually put them in their place, which we did. On a Bournemouth perspective, I can't believe how many tackles I saw them go in for. It clearly, I think, echoes desperation, and that they are in serious trouble. And that squad will have a heck of a rebuild job if they do indeed go down.
Yeah, they will. I would say, and this might go down as one of our hot takes, Alex, is that defensively, anything that's thrown into the box, we are a bit panicky. However, we tend to stop everything before it gets to the box. We are very good at the sort of defensive midfield area. I think we pretty much stop most things, so it doesn't get to that point.
I think we're very good when we got the opposition in front of us and we've got that discipline and we're organised and we know what we're doing. I think when we've had players slightly out of position or we've got caught on the break and we had to track back and we're not quite set up, I think that's when we've occasionally looked bit well. We don't sometimes quite know what we're doing or who's with the sort of partly zonal system we use. It's sort of when we're not all in position, it's a question of something different happens and it's because who's going to, where they all sort of know what they're doing, exactly what they're doing most of the time. You get that one bit where they're not, it's not quite so, and they have to think a bit more, and then occasionally you see us sort of get a little bit.
Well, I'll be honest, I don't know whether it's just echoes of the past. I am still very, very nervous on corners. Even though we don't seem to concede that many, I still feel it always still feels a little bit fractious. And I'm like,
I actually thought after the game, in the second half, did Rui actually touch the ball in the second half?
Right at the end, there was that awkward header, like 92nd minute, that just went straight up that he caught. But other than that, I'm not sure. He definitely wasn't tested the whole match.
So that shaky defense thing, I'm not quite sure I agree with that. I think the defense.
Oh no, don't get me wrong. It's not shaky defense as such. I think it's when the ball's put in to the box, like stay on corners, a couple of crosses. Usually it doesn't come to that. It's usually we've done the job before then.
I think normally it's
just a little bit.
I'm not sure it's when the ball comes in. I think when the ball comes in from outside, we're generally okay. It's when you get that second ball and someone's got to react and go to it, and you're not quite sure where it's going in. I think that's when I think sometimes we've sort of looked a bit static sometimes. And
there's a couple of panicky clearances tonight, and I was like, where you just wanted someone to be the decisive and get rid of that ball out of that area now. It's gone. And that's, I mean, I'm trying to find some way to criticise.
Well, Patricio did that, but he also punched somebody in the head.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we need more of that.
I'm all for it.
I think that will just come with the match sharpness, won't it? Just players.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Or just being sort of a bit more in tune with the game. So
it certainly wasn't as crisp this evening as it was against West Ham. I thought we were a lot sharper with the passing against West Ham, but again, it's bloody hot, so it's going to make a difference. I'm not.
How do you think
I've got to find some criticism somewhere, you know.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult because we're looking through now, sort of thinking, well, it's like the end of the season, but really, from the players' point of view, having been off for 3 months, it's more like the end of the pre-season, really, in terms of where they are. I think.
Well, they're not going to get a break either until like summer of 2022.
No, because I mean, we're going to be playing Europa through August, and then next season's going to be starting.
Any European players as well. There's going to be the European Cup, national teams, and stuff like that. It's going to be quite a lot.
We have an international squad now, so
Well,
especially when Cody gets called up for the England team for the Euros.
Well, the other thing that's going to ask is, in terms of Europa League and Champions League, what's going to happen next season? Because I mean, if you think about, particularly for the qualifying, as to when we started playing Europa League this season, they're not going to finish this season's competition by then.
I think the qualifiers have been shaped, so there's no clash. I think so. Once the final's done on the 21st of August, then it's week and a half later when the prelims start, and up until it's except for the Champions League, playoffs, it's all just a state for the qualifying round. There's still one leg. Except I think for the Champions League playoffs, and then the groups I think kick off in October to December, squeezing in the 6 match days, and then which I don't almost put it on par in terms of what the regular season is. But as I mentioned last week, as I mentioned on Saturday, there's going to be no normal season until post the 2022 World Cup, with how the calendar has just been flipped on its axis.
Yeah, it's going to take that long to catch up with everything and get everything back in sync. Yeah.
Indeed, particularly obviously 2022, when obviously the World Cup is at Christmas, which will be interesting, and probably maybe a bit too hot, but the guys could nail it in 30-degree heat this afternoon. Then
that's a good point.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
So we've done about an hour, so we'll start to round it up now. So if we could get a prediction for the game on Saturday off everybody, that'd be great. I'll start with Matt.
Well, it's anything like last couple of games, either 1 or 2-0,
To us or to Villa?
Oh, to us.
Of course, I know. I'm just joking. Aru, what is your...
I'm going to say 3-0. 3-0. How do I get my picture up? Does that happen when I speak? I guess it doesn't automatically. 3-0. Maybe 3-1. Did you hear me?
3-0, 3-0. Yeah, 3-0, 3-1. Okay, that's cool. Kashmir?
It's a local derby. Form but supposedly go out the window. I think it'll be much tighter than what people suggest. So I'm going to go repeat of November 2-1. Don't know who will score. Probably Rao with one. Don't know with the other, but it's a derby. But usually, as you say, goes out very, very tight affair. But I certainly think we've got the firepower to put Villa aside comfortably, as we did back in November. And obviously they will be wanting to go all out, seeing that they only got a point against Newcastle tonight. So we'll have more than enough quality, I think, and it will be another 3 points, of which, if we do win, at that point we will go fourth, depending on Chelsea's result tomorrow. So another thing to spur the boys on, I think.
Cool. Mm-hmm. Jez?
Just the first thing to say really is, come on, City. I'm going to be a little bit pessimistic, really. Just I watched the game tonight on BT Sport, but I kind of got Sky Sports on in the background. I was actually watching the BT Sport stream via my season ticket on my laptop, which was really good. But sort of the Sky Sports bit kept jumping in, saying that Villa were doing really well for the first 15 minutes and then went off the ball a little bit, then did really, really well the last 15, 20 minutes. So I think it's going to be a tough game, to be honest. I think they're going to be fighting for their lives. I think obviously third game in, the fitness is going to be better. They're not a bad side. Yes, they're down the bottom, but they're they're not a really, really bad side. I think it's just going to be probably really, really close. I think we'll probably just snatch a 1-0 win if we can get a goal in between that sort of 15-minute, 75-minute time scale.
Okay. Alex?
I believe on that same thought, but I think it's just going to be wide open because they're going to be doing everything they can to try and get the 3 points out of it. So I think you're looking at 4-2. I can't pick against Wolves to drop any points until they do. I think you're going to see a Neves free kick, another Traore to Jimenez connection, and then of course a brace from your starting left winger Neto.
4-2. Wow.
Wow.
We're going.
So that's wow. I think 4-1 to Wolves. We will go down 1-0 because, as just mentioned, the Villa play well in the first 50 minutes. Typically, we tend to start slow. We may concede in that time, and then we will destroy them with 4 goals.
My prediction say there'll be more goals in the second half than the first half.
Absolutely, yes. We'll absolutely destroy them. We'll nick one just before half time, and then it'll be it'll just be easy as you like in the second half. We'll just step up a gear and just cruise through 4-1. Excellent. Right. Well, thank you, everybody. And if anyone wants to do this again, we'll attempt to be here again or after the Villa game, where you can all ridicule my prediction. And
well, one thing to note was was Bali was he in there the last time that Villa played us? Sorry, I'm in Texas. I always do the L's. Villa. The last time they played was Bali there, or was he out?
That's a good question. I can't remember.
All right, I'm gonna say that he wasn't. He's gonna be the difference.
Almost done. It's just a fan's phone. What? Just a fan's phone.
Sorry, Bod. Finish us out. I stole your
thunder.
Sorry,
yes. And that's it, really. If you want to join us next time, feel free. We'll post up the link. We won't be putting it on Twitter this time because we get lots of strange requests from robots.
No, we won't be doing that.
We won't be doing that. Thank you. That voice, by the way, that's the Invisible Man. Those who thought I was also the Invisible Man, I'm not. That is actually the Invisible Man being invisible. So there you go. So thank you, everyone, and good night.